So that was great. You basically your Muay Thai upbringing and the gym and everything, and the move here has gone well. We're off to Italy for the Unifieds again in October. Last year, I was very pleased that you took up the position of team manager.
No, I was honoured, mate. It was
for me. Can you just say a little bit about Italy and the magnitude of it, and basically looking after Team GB for me?
Yeah, I mean, last year I took Tommy and Luke over there last year, and they had some great fights, and came back with 2 world titles each in K1 and Muay Thai. So that was a massive thing for them. And I always remember when I first went to Italy, I was sat with my coach. They always, I think I did a post on Facebook about this. They were sat behind me, and they said to me, or I overheard them saying, "Did you ever think you'd be fighting abroad in Thai boxing?" And that was, that was like my job done really. To give them kids not only, they're going on a plane and they're fighting abroad and they fight for world titles. So that was massive to hear that, and it was it tickled me out a little bit. That it was. But going back to Italy, it was fantastic. I didn't know what to expect, but I know it's been going on for a number of years now. But the venue is phenomenal, mate.
I think I call it the biggest mixed martial arts event in the world with 4,000 plus competitors, 100 odd countries, and God knows how many arts are competed for. Can you just actually elaborate a little bit on the magnitude of it?
All I can say is it's like the size of the GMX, isn't it? It's probably the size of, not bigger than the GMX, with all the different mat sports. You've got the low kicking, you've got the kickboxing, you've got the K1, you've got the Muay Thai, you've got all the stalls, and let me just add, the food is amazing as well. The food's mega. I've spent plenty on Thai food when I was there, but it was phenomenal.
And it's high pressure, Steve, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because especially for me, because I was cornering different boxes. Well, I just had Tommy and Luke. I had 3 boxes from GFC to look after last year. I was cornering for helping Sam Bell with fight science with Antonio, and you're just overseeing people, and so yeah, there could have been one boxer in and straight to the next ring for the K1. So it was high pressure, but there was good people there. Like, Richard Smith was there and Lisa. So that was really good, the support there, and all the boxers helped each other out and warmed each other up. So it made it easier. Just a one big team. We
have a great team, and that's what it certainly is, a team. We've had 1 or 2 in the past that we've not really asked back because they weren't part of that team. This year we've got over 100 going, probably around about 130 in total, but 50 odd of them are actually fighting. So you've got a big job on your hands. I've actually asked Richard Smith this year to help you out.
Richard, I'll need you on this one, mate. No, it's phenomenal. But what I liked about it as well, because I know like the bad company, they've been the last maybe 2-3 years, haven't they? They're regulars out there, and what I liked about it is some of the kids didn't know each other, but because they were all fighting together, they're all mates now, which is the biggest thing about it. They're all mates. So when they see each other at shows or they go to winter clubs, they're all pals. They all knock about together.
And they get new mates while they're there from different countries. Social media now, it's easy, innit? What was it like the first day when you actually, the opening ceremony and walking in that arena?
It was mind blowing, because you said to me, "Oh, it's pretty big, Steve. Oh, it's massive, mate." But until you've seen it, you've got no idea until you get there. And that's only just half of it. Only the ring sport and the mat set, that's just half of it. You've got everything else that goes on in there. But the open ceremony was good, with the dragons and all that, and the music, and yeah, it was wicked.
And for me, and yourselves as well, it's the not knowing.
Yeah.
We don't know till Thursday morning who's in that pile of paper, in what category.
You don't have a mind for when am I fighting?
Yeah, and we don't know till I get them sheets. So, well, you lot are at the opening ceremony.
Steve coming out of years last time, getting all boxed off, and where's Pete? He's doing all the matchmaking, lock yourself away, but had to be done. But yeah, I expect it to be even busier.
But the kids love it, don't they? The camaraderie at the hotel.
It's brilliant. That's good. The stuff. It's the stuff after the fighting as well. They're all in the hotel. They're all into the town chilling at night. We're all going out for food. It's brilliant.
We like to think at the WTK we do it correctly. We put team managers in charge like yourself and Richard. We have liaison officers, child protection officers, and we also have our own medics, to look after bumps and knocks in the hotel.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it's certainly the biggest multi-event, and it's open house. We have no restrictions.
No.
So.
And what was good last year, Peter, thought is, because obviously when you go abroad with fighters, a lot of our guys and a lot of the UK, they fought, they fought France, they fought Belgium, they fought Holland, they fought Peru, they fought Russia. So it was a real, they went over and fought, proper kids from, you know, from other countries. But this year's going to be even, I think that the standard's going to be even higher because there's that many gyms going from the UK. We know how high the level of UK Muay Thai is.
And we have a very good success rate.
Yeah.
You know, I've said for a good while, I do believe we're the best nation outside of Thailand. It's a tough level, and like you've just said, it's crash bang bullet. You can be in Muay Thai in the morning,
straight to
and in
K1.
the K1 in the afternoon, and if you can give people a little bit of an insight, what's Sunday like with that finals day?
It's crazy. Yeah, no, it is. It's that's the busiest day because everything's going down in that day, and that's when, you know, you try to corner 2 rings at some point, you know, with the 2 of your fighters going in, and it's 100 mile an hour because that's the climax of the weekend, isn't it? Really, all the finals are going on.
It is, and remarkably, like you said, try to explain the magnitude of it. There's 30,000 people go through there on the Friday and the Saturday, so it's high profile. Yeah, you know, and how do these kids perform, mate?
I think because they're all super talented, aren't they? But I think that's the fact they fight on these big shows. Because going back 10 years ago, with the juniors, you might get 2 juniors on a show, but now the shows there's quality shows every other weekend. The Super Show, the Sandy Opens, they're all big, high-profile gigs, you know, fighting top kids, and I think that's where a lot of these kids have learnt the trade because they've got tough fights on these Sandy Opens. Probably, they say it's the hardest junior competition in Europe, and I think it is. Because a lot of European countries are coming over to it now as well. But I think with the platforms like the Super Shows and the Sandy Open, and there was the Yokkao Open, they're performing week in, week out on the shows and in the clubs to keep him busy. But then platforms that you guys now do with the Super Show, you know, with the platforms and the smoke and the lasers, I just think it instills that confidence into them. Because them shows, Pete, you know, along with your team, they're phenomenal.
Well, I've got a good team, mate. I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah, you should be proud, mate. They are good
fight day, I do very little, mate, except watch the fights. I'm very lucky.
That's good.
There's nothing phases these kids, mate, is there?
No.
When you look at Italy, and I see the draw sheets, and like you've just said, it can be Russia or Peru, Hungary, Azerbaijan, and it don't phase them. No. It's like, bring it on.
Like, you know, like going back to my gym, like, you know, some of my kids, young Georgia, she's had a tough time, Georgia. She came from another gym, but she's fought in the open, had tough fights, and then she sat pals with a girl and arms around the girl who she's just fought with, you know what I mean? And nothing phases her. You know, she'll just, when we're fighting next, they've got that attitude, and I think it's the way to be. Because you're going to have tough fights, you're going to have tough, tough experiences when you're fighting, but I think if you've got that attitude, a lot of these kids have, from other gyms as well, you know, you get beat, you dust yourself off and you crack on, and they just perform.
And so we get there on the Wednesday. Most of the guys, we do the weighing in, the accreditation on the Wednesday. Thursday morning we get the bus to the venue and the opening ceremony. What's that like, Steve? That opening ceremony? I don't see much of that.
Yeah, it's great. It was.
I'm in a little cove matchmaking, but what's it like, mate?
Got the dragons going on. They've got all the music. You've got all the countries there. You know, with the flags and stuff like that. You got all the. Because you don't know what to expect when you go into it. If you've not been before, you don't know what to expect. So it is quite mind blowing. And you've got all the tiered seating, and it's mental, it's good. And
the camaraderie with the kids and the other nations
everyone's buzzing, aren't they? They're all together, you know, and then, like I said, a lot of the kids are seeing kids who fought at the Sandy Open, you know, and stuff like that, like Jaden from Holland, you know, team solo. You know, he won a world title there last year, so when they all see each other, they're all pals, and that's how it should be, you know, you've got these mates from different countries, and it's a phenomenal event, Pete, it really is.
So from there, we do the opening ceremony. We had skydivers and stuff, I think, a couple of years ago. Last year the weather ruined it. But it is an amazing, it is a mini Olympics, isn't it, the opening ceremony?
Yeah, I can't wait for it again this year. It's going to be phenomenal, even more so because the team's bigger now.
Yeah.
GB is going to be huge. What did you say? Was it there's about 60 boxers?
We've got 50 odd at the moment. Right. We expect a couple of late entries. Yeah. So all doing K1 and Muay Thai. Right. That's without the mat sport team. That's probably as big. So yeah, we have a huge representation. The numbers are big from Holland. No doubt our biggest rivals. Yeah, normally in the medals charts, they're strong.
The team solo have always been a good gym.
Big John and Medium John, they call him now. So we go from there, opening ceremony, and then we start boxing on the Thursday afternoon. Yeah. And that all concludes, like we just spoke about, is the madness on the Sunday, which is the pinnacle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's the big one, and that's where it does go off the chart, because it's just final after final.
And what was it like, Steve, for you emotionally and professionally to have fighters in them finals on the Sunday?
Emotionally, it was phenomenal because really Tommy was well established when he came to me. To see him go through, you know, British titles to be UK #1, and then to, you know, the pinnacle of fighting for the, you know, the unifieds and winning world titles was just amazing to see. But Luke Mattinson came to me from scratch. You know, I think he'd done 6 weeks at Knuckles, and to see that kid come through, you know, he's now, I think he's ranked UK #1 at his weight at 48, 49 kilos, Luke, and to see him in Italy winning the world titles in K1 and winning international titles, that's because like I said, I've got a lot of kids who've come from scratch, but to see him do his thing, I couldn't have been prouder, mate. I really couldn't.
And the really good news is, and obviously part of this documentary series that we're doing with the great guys at UK Fight Scene, is that they're going to be out there documenting it.
Wow, right.
So we will have memories for life there on film.
I mean, fight scene are really rocking it, man. They're doing phenomenal work. I mean, I think the last video that was on, when I think I was cornering, and they split the screen in half, and I was cornering, and it was showing the action. And that's wicked, man. To see what those guys are doing with the documentaries, it's brilliant.
Well, it's cost us an arm and a leg to get them out there, but they're going to come, and it's going to be warts and all. They're going to do everything.
Right.
And I thank them, because it's been a lifelong ambition of mine to do something. Never mind get to a World Finals and run it, but to have it filmed and documented for all the gyms going, I think it's going to be a pretty special thing.
Will be definitely the word is special, mate. That's for sure. It's going to be great.
So we'll just finish off by saying it's end of October. It's only around the corner.
Got Yokkao before that as well, haven't we?
We've got Yokkao before that. It's exciting time seeing it.
Yeah.
Never mind just for the juniors, for all of us in Muay Thai. One championship going on. You know, the profile of the game is pretty big.
No, it's massive. I will say, Kieran Ildich is fighting Alex Jones. That is going to be. They fought a Majestic, and it was really close fight. It was an absolute war. So I can't wait to see that rematch. Both top lads, both young boxers, both talented. So to see that on a massive stage. Again,
the phone rang. I think about 3 hours after that fight. I forget where I was. I couldn't make the show. I was in Blackpool for the Rebellion show.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was there that day. I couldn't make Majestic, but Steve Donnelly's name pipes up on my phone. It's something important, and he says, "Pete, can you get that rematch on Yokkao?"
Yeah, it's had to happen because, you know, it was such a ding dong.
And to have it on that stage.
Yeah, they both deserve it. You know, Kieran deserves it. Alex deserves it. And I think for everyone to see that, because obviously it was on the Majestic show, and it was phenomenal. It was slap bang on it. Both rock hard kids, so it'll be good to show that one again. Like the Mickey Ward and
could go into a trilogy.
Yeah, big rubber match.
And the best thing about that is we've got to thank Brian Calder and Stefani for accommodating us.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it'll be a cracker. I think it's all good.
Yeah,
there is no bad news in the sport, mate, at the minute.
It's all good at the minute, mate.
Right, I thank you very much, mate. I thank you for your time, and we'll send this over to UK Fight Scene. That'll go out on Facebook, but all our events and all Steve's fighters and everyone else's fighters on the super shows are all on ukfightscene.co.uk. It's a £5 a month. It's pennies. If you want to do your matchmaking, get on that site. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Pete.
Thank
Thanks.
you.